Hello, my sexy muffins, and welcome back to another video. In this video, we are doing Vampire, Yandere, Abel, SCP, X Jack Bright, and that is what we're doing. Basically, it's if Abel as an SCP was a vampirism SCP. Anyways, let's do this. And I hope that you're all having a great spooky month. I know I am. Spooky month supremacy, which goes from the beginning of September all the way to the end of November. It is spooky time. Anyways, for the disclaimer, Jack Bright is not just a self-insert of Admin Bright. Admin Bright has been kicked out of the community for his behaviors and such against people and online predatoriness and all that. And Jack Bright is now more of a standalone character as more people in the fandom over the years have added stuff to his lore and such, and not just Admin Bright. So we support that Jack Bright is a standalone character, and that it's not any of the support or representation of Admin Bright. Thank you. And also, my heart goes out to the people who were victims of Admin Bright. You do not deserve that, and I wish you the best. Anyways, let's go on with the disclaimer number 2. Disclaimer number 2, Abel is not Yandere. He is not a vampire or have vampirism. And he is also not dating Jack Bright. Jack Bright and Abel are not a canon couple. This is just for fun and not to be taken seriously at all. Yes, the SCP fandom is large and this could happen somewhere in the multiverse, but it is not in the main canons of the multiverse or very much talked about if it would happen. And if it would happen, it is almost not talked about at all. Anyways, Abel and Jack Bright are not a canon couple. And simping and shipping fictional characters and yanderes and darlings is fine. Just do not be illegal or gross about it. Remember to separate fiction from reality and headcanon from canon. And yanderes are not ideal partners to have in real life. All that stuff. And that do not be illegal or gross about it. You know who you are. Anyways, let's get on to the video. Jack Bright was pacing his room and had been about a couple of weeks since he had been turned into immortal himself. At least that's what they suspected, since he has turned immortal. Because he was bitten by Abel, and he now had the fang marks shown on his neck no matter what body he was switched to using the amulet. They would appear on his neck, a nice scar, forever marking Jack Bright. The Foundation didn't know what these fang marks were or why they kept appearing on whatever body Jack Bright had when they were running tests. But they knew it was something and probably would cause immortality for Jack Bright. Jack Bright was distressed. Finally, after the main testing was done, he had some time to finally think to himself, and all he could think about was how he felt so guilty for feeling so good when Abel made love to him. He did not fight it as much, and he did enjoy it and thrived in the moment, but he also did not realize what it meant. Abel, on the other hand, had been very, very interested in Jack Bright, and he could feel that he was alive inside of his coffin. He knew his Jack Bright was alive. He had made a deep connection with him by drinking Jack's blood. He could now feel where he was at all time, and though he could not wake up fully because he was healing inside of his coffin, he knew he would find Jack Bright and he would have him. Jack was unaware of what this mark meant, and the Foundation was worried. Jack starts feeling like he's going to pull out his hair. Finally, he goes and decides to see Abel's SCP containment cell himself. He wasn't supposed to, but he did not give a frick. He goes down and gets himself in, and the door opens to the stone cube that had markings on it and occult symbols on it, carved into it. He walks up to it, and he could feel something. He could feel the energy behind it. It made him a bit nervous and freeze. Suddenly, the ground started to shake, and the the cube's door opened. Abel was awake. Abel looked down at Jack, saw the mark on his neck, and knew that it was his Jack. It didn't matter that Jack had a new body. He knew his Jack, and he knew that this was his mate. Yes, he had marked Jack as his mate, and he was going to have him. He speeds over there with fast vampire's anomaly speed and grabs Jack, kissing him deeply on the lips. Jack gasps and grips onto Abel's front, trying to squirm out of his arms, but Abel kept a firm grip on Jack. Jack finally reaches his hand up and slaps Abel across the face. "What the frick?" Jack says angrily, spitting out the taste of Abel from his mouth. But Abel was a good kisser, and it made Jack's stomach have butterflies when he was being kissed. But he was not going to give in to an SCP that basically fricked him to death, even though he wanted it. "What the hell is wrong with you?" Jack demands, as the containment alarm suddenly starts to go off. Jack couldn't even hear it, though. He was way too focused on Abel. Abel grabbed Jack by the front, bit into his own wrist, and then shoved the wrist against Jack's mouth. Jack struggles, and Abel orders him to drink. He was going to force a connection between them. Once Jack would drink his blood, he would be bound to him in a way that blood was sacred, and that Abel had drank Jack's blood. He had a connection to Jack, but he was going to force a connection, so Jack would always, no matter what body he was in, would feel a connection to Abel, and they would be bound to each other for all of eternity. As Jack drinks, his hair turns back to the red color, his face and body changing. His soul was imprinted on the flesh suit he had. He did not know that now every time he claimed a new body, the body would transform back into his own. Abel's blood was permanently making Jack Bright immortal, bound to Abel for all eternity. Even though he would not have vampire traits himself, the power of the amulet and amulets, anomaly properties, and also the bond that Abel was forcing them to be bound together deeply by soul for all eternity. And Jack Bright was helpless. He feels his heart racing, and his stomach doing little flip-flops as he grips onto Abel. The blood tasted delightful now, and he grips Abel's wrist, drinking deeply from it. Abel strokes his hair and looks down with him at love as his new mate makes the connection. They were now bound to each other, and they were never going to be separated. Abel would make sure of that. The Foundation would have no choice in the matter. They would suffer if they tried to take Jack away from Abel. Mark his words. Finally, the guards came in, and they are shocked at what they're seeing. "Dr. Bright, get away from..." Abel growled at them, and then moved Jack away to safety and grabbed the person who spoke, snapping his neck in a second. Suddenly, rays of bullets come down, and Abel is made into Swiss cheese, but of course not killing every single MTF, I think that's what the stand is for, is unalived. Then he goes to Jack, who is cowering in fear. He felt Abel's pain. He felt the agony he was in, but he did not care. Well, at least Abel did not care. Abel did not care. He could feel his mate's fear. He was angry at that, and he wanted to go on a rampage, but first was comforting his darling. "You are all right," he says, and leans down, taking Jack into his arms, sitting him on his lap. He was healing, and the bullets were sinking out of his skin as they were pushed out as they were healed. He would be fine. He holds Jack close, and Jack grips onto his tunic and buries his face, inhaling his scent. Suddenly he felt safe being held by Abel. He did not know why, but he was safe and sound, and he never wanted this feeling to go away. His stomach does little flip-flops again, and he growls, "I don't like you." Jack says firmly. You're an asshole. Abel chuckled at that. I might be an asshole, but I am your asshole. And you are mine. I am never letting you go. We are bound together for eternity, he says, and kisses the top of Jack's head, his fangs gleaming in the fluorescent lights of the Foundation. Like hell I am. I don't belong to anyone, Jack says. But he did admit the idea of being with Abel forever, even when the world has ended, was very, very nice. Anyways, that is part two. Sorry there was so much narration. I just had to get a lot of things. Also, I took some inspiration from True Blood, where when you drink a vampire's blood as a human, there is a connection made, and that they can sense where you are, and that they can smell you and all that. And I made it so it works with both of them. When you share blood, like blood is sacred and all that stuff. And so they're now connected, and it imprinted on their soul thanks to the anomaly and Abel being already immortal. So the anomaly of the amulet ended up imprinted on them. And also, it's easier to describe Jack as his original looks. So I kind of sneak that in where it would make Jack look the same. So that would make more sense when I describe him. Anyways, I hope that you all enjoyed this. If you would like to see more, comment below what you would like to see, and I will do my best to do it. Next chapter is going to be a flashback chapter with which won't be on YouTube because it's not safe for work. It's just going to be on Patreon, which is a not safe for work flashback to the adult fun time scene. And that will be specifically for patrons because they pay for it. And also YouTube is YouTube. Can't do it on YouTube because of reasons. Anyways, I hope that you all enjoyed this. Again, and if you would like to see more, comment below what you would like to see, and I will do my best to do it. This is part 2. I will get part 3 done as the official part 3, which is plot 3, and not safe for work part 3. Anyways, I hope that you all enjoyed this. And how many times can I freaking say that? Anyways, Patreon outro. Thank you, Gav, for being my first patron. You are wonderful. You are beautiful. You are stunning. Mwah. Chef Kiffs, thank you for being in my Queen King's Majesty tier and being my number 1 Queen patron. Queen Gav, you are fabulous, beautiful. Mwah. Chef's Kiss, thank you, Gav. You are just, you are perfect. And I appreciate you so much as my first and number 1 patron, and also my top patron. Thank you, Gav. Thank you, Wicked Brony, for being my second patron and second most expensive tier of Witches, Warlocks, and Sorcerers / Mages tier. That makes you Witch Wicked Brony. Thank you, Witch Wicked Brony. I appreciate you. And I also love that you chose the Wicked Witches, Warlocks, and Sorcerers tier because that is also the tier that has your theme of Wicked Brony. So thank you, Wicked Brony. You are fabulous. You are wonderful. You are beautiful. You are stunning. Mwah. Chef's kiss. Thank you, Wicked Brony, and I hope that you enjoyed as well. Thank you, all my sexy muffins, and I hope that you all enjoyed. And stay sexy, all my sexy muffins, and stay spooky as well because you're spooky, sexy muffins. Bye-bye. Secret outro time. Secret outro time. Secret outro time. Secret outro. Welcome to the secret outro. The secret outro video of the day is, if you were in this situation, would you have submitted and willingly made a connection to Abel if you were in Jack's situation and wanted to be bound to him for eternity? Yes or no? My answer is hell yes. All the way. Anyways, I hope that you all enjoyed, and stay sexy, all my sexy muffins. Bye bye.